What's going on, guys? Good morning. Let's see what we got. All right, let's go over these levels. So we're back in this 74.54 demand zone. So if we do manage to hold, we can look for a push back up to 75.40 and the same levels for the past few weeks now. We're just waiting to break out. Today is FOMC at 2:30 Eastern time. So today we'll either get that break, that push up, or we'll just start making new lows, right? So same thing under 74.54. We got 74.11, 73.63, and full TP would be around 7,300 if we do get the next leg down. So this is what we can expect with FOMC. So for SPY, if you guys are trading options, same thing. I'd like to see a retest of the 736 demand zone. We can manage to hold. We can look for a push back up to retest 744. And if we start breaking down under this 732, 736, this little zone right here, this starts giving out. It's just a clear short down to 716. That's the higher probability short, in my opinion. As of now, you could just play this range between 732 to 736, between basically 736 to 744. If you want to try that 732 long, you could use that as well. So you guys are trading QQQ over 675. You could see 687. Under 675, you could see 667, right? So I'm just looking to play level to level, especially with FOMC. Probably going to chop or range around until news drops. And for NQ, same thing. Over this 27,963, that 28,640 comes into play right here. If you start rejecting this 29,763, you can see that 27,540, possibly down to 26,727. You guys have any questions on those levels? You guys have any questions about any other stocks or anything? I am expecting a range for the most part, probably between that 74.54 where we're sitting right now and the top of this value area high around the 74.80, 85. It did fill that gap on the daily. You basically hit that 785, 786 and bounced. So what I would be looking at is 780, there's like 785. Under 785, you could see 680 would be ideal. The best short is if you take out the under 650, you got another gap below that on the daily. Under 650, there's a gap at 593 for MU. I'd like to see what the overall market does. If you do take out that 817 though on MU, I mean that opens the door to 750 under 817. That'd be something to watch. Yeah, I'm looking for NU under 817. You can see 750. That's like your last pivot. I would see what FOMC does. If FOMC starts breaking down and like breaking down the market, I would look for that. But I'd wait for 817 to kind of be your guide at that point. The AMD shorts would have been it. It looks like it topped out. I mean, I could see AMD getting back to, or AMD, uh, MU getting back to like $500. Not right now, but over time, I could see it having another, 30% pullback from here. Yeah, today's solid earnings. I think it's Meta or Microsoft. What's tomorrow? Meta and Apple. I think Amazon's today. Okay. Yeah, today you got Microsoft and Meta after market. ARM2, QCOM, Robinhood's today. Yeah, all the big names are after hours today. Yeah, tomorrow's Apple, Amazon. You got Reddit, Roblox. Friday you got Exxon, Chevron, Moderna. It's going to be a volatility. Uh, some nice volatility, in my opinion, depending on earnings. If earnings come back, the only beat thing is if earnings come back somewhat decent, and then FOMC does something else, it could just sit flat. But if they both, FOMC lowers rates and earnings goes up, could have a nice push or vice versa if earnings are bad and FOMC, bad news, we could get a nice sell off. At least they'll correlate. I don't expect much movement today until 2:30. Ideally, if you guys want to play just the range, there's I don't blame you. I mean, you could argue that it made a lower high, right? You had the leg down, you pushed up. This is your lower high, and you just made a lower low right here, right? I mean, I would play it the same way. Under that 74.54, 74.11 is on the table, but I'd be more cautious, is all I'm saying. Mm. See, if you break under 54, that short is on the table. I'd be playing it just like yesterday. Under 54.11 is your TP. They're going to give us the massive sell off right at open. I mean, if you guys look at NQ, she's rejecting that 27.963. We wicked right off of it. Look at North Shore. Just says you're in shorts or in longs at 48. Yeah, I mean 54 is your pivot. Just be careful. I mean, it looks like a lower high, right? Like I just said, we sold off, pushed up, failed. We're rejecting this shelf right here. So ideally, I'd want to see more continuation down to 74.11. You got a massive amount of selling pressure right now. So I'm expecting a decent amount of chop until news drops. I'm not looking to do crazy anything crazy today until 2:30. If something to look for is if NQ reclaims VWAP and closes above and takes out that 27,963. I mean, longs are on the table. Ideally, you want to see ES reclaim this 54, really that VWAP. That's why 54 should be your pivot. Over 54, you could play like 65. It's not much, just the range for now. 54 to VWAP at 67. Under 54 opens the doors to 74.11. It's really all we have. I mean, you have some volume at 74.41. So 74.54 to 74.41 would have been your exit, which you need to see NQ break this 27,963. That'll give you a little confirmation. And you're getting right back to this shelf right here, right? This POC. This could be, if it fails, this could be the short. NQ's right at that 27,963. See if she can close above it. Or just reject and just start selling off. Go either way. And then Q's holding that 54. They're both right at that pivot. See what tech's doing. Microsoft is rejecting at 396. Apple's just pushing to new all-time highs again. Meta bounced off that 589. Amazon's pushing up. Tesla's sideways. Nvidia's holding at 194. There's really no direction yet. You guys see this rejection on NQ? The 27963. So I'm just saying it could be a retest. That could have been your short right there. Mm. If NQ starts breaking VWAP, I might try shorts. Yeah, this is what I think. We're probably just gonna be mounted on this 54 until 2 o'clock, guys. I wasn't even gonna stream this morning. I just figured we'd check out, see what it does, if it gives us an opportunity. Ideally, two. I'll be back at 2, from 2 to 3. I wouldn't be surprised if we're just pinned right to this level all day. All you really have is 74.54 to 74.67 or 74.54 down to 74.41. You're only going to get like 10 points on either side. I do like the short, just the way the overall chart looks, though. Like the bigger picture. See how they're just holding it? See how we keep rejecting that POC too? That 55, 56. And right back. Yeah, I most likely won't take a trade this morning. Like I said, I don't see much I really like from the chart. I do like the shorts, but I need confirmation. And that will probably happen after FOMC today. Yeah, I'll be here for FOMC. I was only going to stream FOMC. I wasn't even going to stream this morning, but I was like, I'll just see if we get somewhat of a decent setup. But I have no intentions really of trading right now. Yeah, I probably won't hop on till 2. I think it starts at 2:30. He starts, but I think news gets released at 2 p.m. I'll probably only give this like an hour today to like 10:30. I'm not really going to waste too much time. Yeah, we're just stuck right on the 54. You still in that short North Shore? Yeah, hopefully, I don't know if Big Rome or Vin's out there. I would, you guys didn't take anything, I'd just probably say wait. Because I do like the short. It's just, with news, anything could happen. This thing can blow up to 75, 50, pretty quick. I'll show you something on the bigger time frames, though. Yes, over there. You guys see that? And then here's that 74.11, right? That wick right here. This is that wick we. So you're in this little thing, right? The best short would be up here at the top of this trend line. You could short down. TP would be that 74.11. Or if you break that 74.11 right here, you take out this low. The only thing you could do is try to take this down to like 73. I would say like 73.80. 90 maybe. Somewhere down here would be ideal. You'd want to break this, and then this would be your short under the 74.11 down here. Or you want to short the top of the range. Or, or we break out of this, right? We can break out, hold, and then go push, right? That could be a scenario as well. And then same thing if you break down. If you break out of it, you can just start selling off and get that leg down. It's what we're waiting for. But as you can tell right now, we're just stuck in this. We got to make a decision. Something to keep your eyes peeled for. Yeah. The only thing is you could bounce right here. It's beat. Like 41's ideal. If you could get to that 41, 42, it's really not worth it unless you get the 54 entry. I do like how you're under that 54 though. You know, it's really an NQ's under that 27963, and NQ is finally breaking VWAP. See if you get that 41 North Shore. Like anywhere right around here. Like I would say 40, 41's ideal. Or based out. 41, 42 right here if you see my screen. Just take the base hits. Should get a push down right here. This new 5-minute candle. If NQ could make a new low a day, you could get that 41 right here. NQ's trying to make low a day. 41, 42 would be ideal. If you break that 41, 42 though, there's really nothing down there. Your next target's like that 74.11 that I was talking about, to like a zone of like 74.20. 74.20 to 74.11 would be your sell zone if this fails. I would just trail your stop at this point. I'd put your stop at like 42, 43. Probably like 43. You sit in the trade for free. Uh, Good Jim. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I like the downside more than the upside, just from the hourly time frame. We talked about that lower high, right? You could argue this as well. Right. Broke down. You could even argue it did it again right here. Right. Flagged down, flagged out, broke down. You sold on the breakout. You're sick. So you should get that 74.20. You're on your cash account though, right? Like you're playing with real cash. Yeah, you can't. It is what it is. You made $100 in 20 minutes. If you want to view it like that, I wish you'd held a little. Or you had two, right, or three, or even sold one, not all of them, one or two. That's what you guys got to start practicing is the trimming. Take one off, move your stop to BE, and just keep trailing and trailing. Because if we do get bad FOMC news, you're 50, that up there, this will probably be the high of day if we really do start breaking down. You got that hourly close in 5 minutes. So at this point, you would want to look for like a retest of that 40, 42 we were talking about, or you could just use this value area low at 44. Look for a retest back up here where there's some volume. Look to short for continuation back down. Yeah, here comes that 20. Yeah, the 54 break was it. If it wasn't FOMC today, I would have took it. That's the B part. Yeah, we have the level. We have a level right here at 11. Between 11 and 20 is like your sell zone. That's what I was saying. You sold on the breakout. Once you broke 41 was the break. Once it broke, that was your confirmation. I think that's when you got out. You notice the volume, how thin it is? There's really nothing below. Next level's that 7411. We got some volume. I don't think Creative V does it like that. Hell yeah. You played that break, Watson? What did it Oh shit, it did break. It broke that 817, right? We were talking about? Dude, you can go back to 750 on that. That's what I was saying. There's nothing below that. Good shit. There's nothing below MU as well as ES. Good freaking trade, man. Yeah, the 817, that was the pivot. Way to execute. Yeah, my play was the 7454. I just didn't take it because FOMC today. It sucks. It'll be the clean break. It's the best one. Clean sell off. We said 20 when we hit 20, 21. Pretty close there, North Shore. That was a good guess I had. Nah, I don't blame you, Watson. I'm not even trading because of that. You can look for a bounce later, though. I don't know if you'll get it. If FOMC comes back, like, it starts whipsawing, if you could retest that, like, 800 or something, not even like 815, 817, get a retest, you can try to short it again. As long as it stays below, it's a valid short. Give Watson. I'll be outside with the hat or a handout, my man. Oh, that's crazy. You're about to go eat too? Can I come with you? Watson making a stack before 10 a.m. Come on, North Shore. Yeah, I told him. I said the 41 break, hold it. 41 hits. I said you got confirmation because I got out. He held through the chop and got out on the breakout. We called the 11 to 20. We were pretty freaking close. I'm not even trading. That was a clean short too. I'm so pretty pissed about that. This could be your potential short retest right here. Your long basically back up for the retest, right? You can go maybe retest that value area high right here. I still like the downside. I wouldn't really play any longs. You could wait for it to push up and then short the pop, like we said, the 744. That'd be the same thing with that MU North Short Watson, that 817 retest short. Yeah, I'm only giving this thing another like 20, 30 minutes and I'm out. At least some of you guys made money. I'm happy about that. I mean, the bigger time frame looks like this thing could get like all the way down to 7,300 if we really get some follow through today. 7,300, maybe 7,245. Like that's the sick part. It's got a lot of room down. At this point, the best short now, if you didn't take that 54, obviously, is that 74.11. Under 74.11, you could get a nice close on like 15-minute candle. That opens the doors for that 73.63, 7,300, 72.45. That's really what I'm going to be waiting for FOMC today. See if we get that breakdown, or see if we climb back up and reclaim 74.54. Yeah, I'll see you guys at 2. I'm going to give it a little longer. That short played out, right? This was the demand zone. Failed. Here's that new hourly print. The only beat thing with this is you guys know how I love that hourly, right? This could potentially be a long right here off this 31. I'd put your stop at 27. 31 would be the long. 27's your stop. TP would be like 43. 44, like this value area low. So you got some volume right here. This would be a potential long in my book. Damn, are you kidding me? If it runs to 43 that quick, I'm gonna be sick. Anyone take that long right there off the 31? You guys should be up 7-8 points. 43 would be full TP. No, me neither. Don't matter. I'm just sitting here calling them out. Not taking anything. Yeah, that's how I am. Just shot. It's rejecting. I'd just wait. You didn't even get the full push to 43. This could be a flag playing out too, right? A bear flag. Just keep this in mind. So I was just looking for the retest. Boom to there, and then the short would be up here like we talked about. The 43, 44 is the short. It's not even getting up there for the retest though. If you break this, you're probably just going to break down. Under that 26, 27, you're probably going to get to 11. You got to wipe out that 74.11 though for the clear short. Yep, under 31 is now the short. I was looking for a full push to that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had a really good short. If it plays out playing the short North Shore, like for the whole day, you had like the fire entry up there at that 54, close to it. Because this thing will sell off like another 100 points. That's the sad part. Remember that other day we caught like 40, 50 points? It could be a day like that today. Well, potentially more. That's the beat part. You know, at least I didn't break my rules. I came here not looking to trade as much as I did like that short. It sucks. Here comes that 74.11. That 21's trying to hold, though. I'll give it that. I'll probably break down eventually. I'm going to give this to 10:30, guys. Maybe another, if that, maybe another 5 to 15 minutes. I'm probably going to call it. I'll see you guys back at 2. See if you get that 74.11. I'll see you, Watson. Well, there's a time for the jogs, right? If it's giving you the opportunity for a big sell off, the best thing to do is obviously not look at it and just set your orders. I mean, look though, we're basically at that bottom, right? Here's that 74.11. So this would be like your neckline now, right? If this breaks, we're just this whole thing's falling apart. That's really what we're waiting for. Jesus. So right here, right? This is what we're waiting for. This neckline to give out. And then we can come down to here, right? TP1, TP2 is at 7,300 down here. So right now we are right here. So under 11, you're going to be targeting 73. What did I say the first time? 73.63. I have 73.63 and then 7,300. There's the 11. Just looks like death. There's the 11. 11 breaks, you can see more continuation right here. It looks like it's done. SPY's breaking that 36, targeting that 32, right? We talked about this morning. Q's heading for 667. And Q's heading for that 27,540. And ES is got 73.63 below. So I was saying, I think you had the high at day. The 54 was it. Sucks. Yeah, that was my full TP. It was a 40-point move. Didn't take any of it, just a clean short. Just so over it. We'll come back for FOMC. It'll be some bullshit. It's freaking stupid. That's how it always happens. Try to stay disciplined. Don't trade when I say I'm not going to trade. Just a clean short. Clean. These days I would take the short and then they would do some bullshit and I wouldn't know what to do. And I'm like, oh, I'll just hold it for FOMC. And then I'm just sized in FOMC and get clapped. I'm in shorts. Why is it blasting? And when it goes with the news, it's like 100 points. So you're just smoked. It's not even worth the headache. It just looks like death. This thing looks like there's. I mean, this would be a potential dead cat bounce right here off the 74.11 at this point. But it's not even worth it. You take 11 to 20. I guess 10 points. It's really not worth it. Especially fighting this trend, but that would be it. If you watch majority of the things we talk about, they play out throughout the day. When we sign off, it's usually mid-session. Our levels are on point for the most part. Like even our Sunday game plans, like if you actually review them and look at the what we talk about and then how it plays out, we're pretty on par with the market. Well, I'm going to sign off now before I do something stupid. I will see you guys at 2 p.m.